Chosen one, listen closely. What I am about to share is not meant for everyone. This message is urgent and purposeful, reserved for those who genuinely walk with God. If someone does not seek Him sincerely or carry a hunger for truth, this message will not hold them. But you stayed, and that alone reveals something about your spirit. You are hearing this at the exact moment heaven intended. Not early, not late, right on time. Heaven does nothing randomly. If this message has reached you now, it is because God knew your heart was finally ready to understand what most people would overlook. Chosen one, the way you carried yourself under pressure did not go unnoticed. Heaven watched closely. God Himself observed your posture when things made no sense. Your composure, restraint, and quiet faith stood out. Not your words, not your emotions, but your steadiness. Many speak about faith. Very few live it quietly. And without realizing it, the way you responded shifted something in the spiritual realm. Stay with me, because what you are about to understand will bring peace, clarity, and deep confirmation about who you are and why your journey has been so intense. The attitude heaven expected versus the one you chose. Most people believe heaven responds to volume, to louder prayers, longer cries, stronger emotions. But heaven watches something deeper first. Attitude. When pressure entered your life, heaven wasn't waiting for failure. It was observing, watching how you would stand when answers delayed, doors stayed closed, people misunderstood you, and silence replaced reassurance. That season was not meant to break you. It was meant to reveal you. Many would have complained, grown bitter, questioned God loudly, or collapsed emotionally. That reaction is common, predictable, but you chose differently. Despite exhaustion, unfairness, loneliness, and confusion, you remained steady. You chose restraint over reaction, composure over chaos. Emotion is what you feel. Attitude is how you stand while feeling it. God does not condemn emotion. He understands tears and fatigue. But attitude reveals the posture of the soul, and yours showed maturity. You did not let weariness turn into rebellion, confusion into disrespect, or pain into bitterness. Heaven expected noise. Instead, it saw discipline, quiet endurance, a calm spirit seeking understanding rather than accusation. That kind of posture is rare, and rarity always draws attention. Your value was not in perfection, it was in how you carried imperfection. You stayed aligned without pretending to have answers, and alignment speaks louder than effort. You chose silence, not from weakness, but from wisdom. You trusted timing. You understood that truth doesn't need panic, and God doesn't need you to fight every battle publicly. That posture spoke trust, and trust is the language heaven responds to fastest. Real faith is not proven when answers come quickly. It is proven when silence stretches and posture remains intact. Why your silence spoke louder than words. Silence is not absence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. In the spiritual realm, silence often carries more authority than speech. You wanted to explain yourself, to defend your heart, to correct misunderstandings, but something within you restrained you, not out of fear, but wisdom you didn't yet recognize. That restraint signaled maturity. It showed you trusted God to speak on your behalf. You understood timing mattered more than urgency. Heaven is not impressed by noise. Heaven is impressed by alignment. Your silence didn't come from anxiety. It came from trust, from inner stillness, even while your heart was tired. God wasn't waiting for the right words. He was watching how you carried yourself when words were unnecessary. Words can be exaggerated. Emotions can be manipulated, but attitude cannot be faked for long. Your silence revealed security, even in uncertainty. You didn't stop believing, you stopped forcing, and that shift is critical. Forcing creates resistance, trust creates movement. Silence is where trust matures. Quiet faith and loud faith are not measured the same way. God does not favor volume, He favors sincerity. While others spoke, you listened. While others reacted, you discerned. While others demanded, you waited without losing posture. That is not inactivity. That is preparation. Silence is often the final test before elevation. When God knows you won't panic in quiet seasons, He knows you can be trusted in louder ones. The moment your attitude interrupted heaven, there comes a moment in every true spiritual journey when something shifts quietly but decisively. No spectacle, no announcement, just alignment. Heaven is structured and intentional. It does not react emotionally. It responds lawfully. And when something interrupts heaven, it is never noise. It is maturity. There was a point when you stopped wrestling for control. You didn't give up. You surrendered urgency. You stopped interpreting delay as rejection. And that inner adjustment changed everything. Desperation keeps heaven observing. Trust activates it. Your calm signaled readiness. Heaven does not respond to calmness to reward it. It responds because calmness shows you can carry weight. You proved you could be trusted with silence. You didn't lash out when misunderstood. You didn't chase validation when overlooked. You didn't compromise values when outcomes delayed. That consistency disrupted the usual expectation. Heaven expects collapse under prolonged pressure. You remained aligned. That is why things shifted internally first. You became less reactive, more grounded, more discerning. You stopped explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. That inner authority is what heaven responds to. You were not delayed. You were repositioned. Heaven was not confused. It was recalibrating. Something changed, not because you forced it, but because your attitude matured into trust. And what your silence set in motion cannot be undone.